Today's episode is brought to you by Mood. Mood was created in 2002 as an online source for 100% federally legal cannabis grown on small, pesticide-free American farms.
So we're going to tell you about the online cannabis company that's revolutionizing how we deal with life's challenges. From sleepless nights to stress-filled days, Mood.com has created an entire line of not just gummies, but functional gummies that target specific health concerns with 100% federally legal THC blends. They'll deliver them discreetly right to your doorstep.
What makes these gummies different is how they've actually paired the THC and other cannabinoids with herbs and adaptogens. So you're really not going to find gummies like this in dispensary or truly anywhere for this matter. The one that is by far the most intriguing to me, which I think it'll be for Melissa, is the PMS one.
Most definitely. I have cramps. I have like discomfort where like my head is hurting. I also have, my mood is all over the place when I'm PMSing. So this is there to help for the difficult times in your difficult cycles. And I am so excited to try the PMS Support THC gummies. And you can get 20% off your first order at mood.com with promo code BLAME.
And they literally have gummies for truly everything. Immune support, menopause relief, PMS symptoms, mental clarity, schmexual arousal. And each one is crafted
schmexual?
Yeah, schmexual.
What's schmexual? Why are you whispering? We're adults here.
We are adults here. If you're an adult, enjoy your weed and your sex. Best of all, not only does Mood stand behind everything with an industry-leading 100-day satisfaction guarantee, but as we mentioned, listeners get 20% off their first order with code BLAME.
So head to mood.com, browse their amazing selection of functional gummies, and find the perfect gummy for whatever you're dealing with. And remember to use code BLAME at checkout to save 20% on your first order.
Meta AI is the personal AI to help you with whatever you need. Plus, it meets you where you are. Not only is Meta AI now an app, but it's also on the apps you already know and love. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Messenger. Plus the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. It's easy to access wherever you are. So whether you're talking or texting, Meta AI is convenient to use throughout your day. Experience our newest AI that's tailored to you by downloading the Meta AI app. Try the Meta AI app today on the Apple App Store and Google Play.
Imagine this. The best pasta sauce you have ever tasted sits abandoned on a plate. Wasted sauce. That is a tragedy. If only you had used Barilla al Bronzo pasta. Its bronze-cut texture holds your sauce and scoops up every last drop. The Italians call that scarpetta. Capture sauce the Italian way. Barilla al Bronzo. Click or tap the banner to find out more.
Welcome to a brand new episode of
Fisting Friday.
Fisting Friday. And this is, if you're new to this is just us talking, gabbing. We have more structured shows throughout the week, but if you just want a chill discussion, here we are.
Here we are. Take us or leave us. Don't leave us.
I like to welcome, I can't keep up with editing these anymore. Fisting Friday. See you next Tuesday. So Coco plus her fam are doing it because Coco also has a new job. So,
do you mean fam as in Anthony?
Yes.
Oh my god, iconic.
Twan, as they call him, and also her girlfriend Emily.
Oh my god, new character unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Emily. What do they call you? Do they have M?
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy that I dated, is an incredibly generous term. There is a guy that I slept with, and we were like friends. So I get someone I know. Anyways,
he was a friend that you benefited from.
That's also kind of generous.
He was a friend that you engaged with activities with.
Yeah. And he calls me M, but like EM, and I'm like totally cute in like a romantic like book talk kind of way. A little odd for like, we didn't date. Like, we've got pet names now.
Was he calling you that before he entered you?
No, I don't think so.
Well, he felt...
Yeah, he felt comfortable.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Happy for you, I guess. So I have to tell you something that it's visual. So everybody, I need... What?
I'm scared.
Oh, I'm just letting people know that they can watch this, can't they?
Yeah.
On?
Spotify.
Exactly. So it aids in all of this. I'm not going to say this is the level of my doppelganger, me and Shelly, but like it is an important thing like for you to understand. So let me set the stage. This happened probably, let's guess, like 2 days ago. Because I looked from when this TikTok was uploaded. And I'm sitting on the couch. Mats is like not sitting directly next to me. I'm pretty sure he's like touching up some of the paint in the living room. So he's more so like looking over my shoulder from a bit of a distance. And this is the video that I was watching. Mecca. I'm watching Mecca doing her Love Island season 7 episode 18 recap. And as Mats is, you know, he's painting, he looks over and he goes, "Is that Michael B. Jordan lady?" And I was like, "Huh?"
Who?
And he goes, the lady from the red carpet who interviewed Michael B. Jordan. And I was like, "No." And then I go to look up the video because I was like, "I don't think we ever saw her face." He goes, "No, we saw her face." Hold on.
How does he remember this? This man doesn't remember a lot of things.
Melisa, that's what I said. And so this is the glasses.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my God. Insanely spot on. Like, because I was like, I didn't even know we ever saw her face.
Well, I mean, that's understandable considering who she's in the video with.
Yeah, I was like, she's behind the camera. Mom's just like, she is not behind the camera. I look it up and I go, okay, fair. Totally fair. And I was like, the glasses stuck with you. I literally giggled so hard. And then I had to save them side by side because you look at them side by side and you go, okay, they are wearing the same glasses.
I am texting.
Yeah.
Can you send me the photo of that woman? Yeah.
I laughed so hard. And he was like, wait, sorry. No, is that wrong? And I was like, no. I didn't realize that we saw this woman on camera. And like, that was incredibly spot on. And I was like, I was just giggling so hard because like you said, the fact that the woman was ever on camera to the point where he remembered what she looked like. And here I am arguing saying we quite literally never saw her. No, I just blocked her out completely out of my mind's eye. And then to have remembered from that singular video, see the glasses and go, is that same lady? And I said, no, that's Mecca. And he had, oh, my dad. Because he's far away, but he saw those frames. And said, isn't that lady who bullied Michael B. Jordan in science class?
It's also impressive that he was able to make out that much detail with being far away.
He was like he's not like across the room. It's more like over my shoulder. And I guess, you know, the video, like that Michael B. Jordan interview must have like really stuck with him.
I guess so.
And it had to have been the shift in the glasses because he's seen me watch Mecca's videos and has never made that statement before. And I think it was between the distance and the glasses. I was like, that is so funny. And I think I was listening with headphones, so he couldn't hear her voice. And he was like, sorry. And I was like, no, I'm laughing because you did it. That was solid. And it tickled me.
Speaking of glasses and Michael B. Jordan, I weirdly just opened up Instagram.
That's really scary.
And it says the Mount Rushmore of the Slutty Little Glasses cinematic universe.
Uh-huh. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
So we've got, if you're just listening, we've got Michael B. Jordan. We've got Andrew Garfield. Got Pedro Pascal. And Captain America.
No, I think that's Jonathan Bailey.
Oh, you're correct.
Because I found him attractive, and at first I thought it was
Jonathan Bailey.
At first, I thought it was Chris Evans, and I said, those glasses are actually doing a lot of heavy lifting because somehow I'm sexually attracted to this man. And then I realized I always am because that's Jonathan Bailey.
Yeah, I was looking at it from an angle, but yes, you were right.
I love his slutty little glasses.
Oh, you can see him better.
Oh, yeah.
Jonathan Bailey.
I'm fucking excited for the new Jurassic. Oh, yeah. He can do no wrong. You know that Andrew Garfield...
He does nothing for me.
Well, that is because that's my Spider-Man. Yeah. Would you kick Tobey Maguire out of bed? He's so...
I don't find Tobey Maguire attractive.
No, but because he was your Spider-Man.
There's nothing about Tobey Maguire that he would ever be in my bed.
Okay, Peter Parker.
If it was, what's his name from New Girl?
Nick Miller.
Jake
Johnson.
Yes. If it was Jake Johnson version, which I know was animated, but it still looks like him.
Hey.
And you know how I feel about his nose.
Mm-hmm.
Then he could be in my bed. But every other version of him is like a child.
Okay. I'm just saying that when I think Andrew Garfield is like cute, but I think a huge portion of that was that he was my Spider-Man, and I loved Peter Parker at the time. Also, I was in high school, so and he was in high school.
It makes sense. I mean, Andrew Garfield is my age, I believe, anyway. But nothing about him does anything for me.
Does he do more for you than Toby?
And we already, yes, more than Toby.
Yeah.
Toby, why do you keep bringing him into the conversation?
Because he's Spider-Man. Toby's a little unsettling.
And we've had this conversation, and I'm not trying to be insensitive at all. But when I picture Andrew Garfield in my head, I picture what he looked like back then, and that was before his hairline moved up.
Oh, I do think he went to Turkey.
I know that.
Oh, you meant...
When I picture him, I picture when his hairline was back further.
Oh, okay. You've stuck in the receding era as opposed to the bountiful era.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's hard.
And now he just looks like he has too much hair. Well, he should be playing Wolverine now.
That is the issue, is that it does seem
so unbalanced.
Well, I follow someone on TikTok who is like a hairstylist, and his husband went to Turkey to get a hair transplant. And people were like, well, why did he get a hair transplant with a widow's peak and still a receding hairline? He's like, because it's fucking insane for people to go to Turkey to get a hairline that they quite literally never had before. Mm-hmm. If you want to have your 20-year-old hairline, just know you don't have your 20-year-old face. But also, if you want to have a hairline that has never, ever been within your grasp in your entire life, it is going to look a little funky. The best way to kind of do it in a less obvious way, if that's what you're going for, or you just are trying to refresh, get back to where you were. It's not having an quite literally a penciled in hairline. There's a man on this season of Love Island, and I thought maybe I was being mean at first, because I was because the UK, holy shit, the way that the hairlines there are, the teeth and the hairlines there are fucking crazy. But in American Love Island, do you know that spray, that fiber spray that you can, and they do it in film all the time when you pull your hair back?
They do it in black hair. When you go get your hair done, a lot of guys get it done.
So when we did Freakish, Melvin, he wouldn't be mad at me saying this because he has a very thick, full hairline. But there was one part where they were just trying to do something at a sharper angle. So they got paper, they spray it, give him that. I think it was to show the difference of time of the first day there versus natural kind of grow out of his hair. So I'm familiar specifically with that, and you have to get the kind of fibers that match the texture of your hair. Otherwise, your hair starts to kind of just.
It just looks like you got shoe polish and put it on your hairline.
It looks like a dust bunny. It looks like it's laying on top of, and when people just do it on top, not their scalp. They're not doing that. But when they do it just on top, and there's a man on Love Island where he turns to the side, his hair, transparent. You can see right through it. But from the front, not looking like that. And every time I hold my breath when girl goes to kiss him and touch his hair, I'm like, don't do that to him. Don't do that. It is perched. It low-key looks like it is just placed perfectly. And if you move too fast, it'd fall off. And I just think that some guys look amazing bald. All men look better bald than with five wisps of a hair.
Yeah, if you're going to want some extra hair, you might as well get a toupee or wig.
Yes, and please. I have no issue with that.
And I have no issue with it.
No, people don't like bald guys. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, I do.
There's people who specifically their type, bald men. But in general, I never look at a bald man and go, that man looks insecure. That's it never does that. If you want to put the effort in. That is sexy. If you want to be I'm confident, I don't care, shave my head, that is also sexy. if you want the best of both worlds, where you're like, I want to look like this, but I want to put on absolutely zero effort, and I'm going to be deeply insecure about it and like worried about it and then projecting about it, I'm not interested. Like, I'm just not interested. Because like, there is something very attractive about someone who like does not have the fragile masculinity that is like, oh, I can't do it. Like, I don't want to fuss with my hair too much. And I'm like, no, you can be a man and get a hair transplant. That's fine. You had braces. Come on.
In this slutty little man slideshow there, I didn't show Michael B. Jordan because I'm keeping it to myself.
He's so...
Is the state of the U.S. making you want to escape?
Yes. And you can take the first step and learn the language before you go. Who makes it easy, Melissa?
BAIW makes it easy.
We are so happy that we have a new sponsor. It is BAIW, and not to fangirl too hard. We begged BAIW. We said, BAIW, BAIW, we need you.
Our audience wants you and needs you and asked us, hey, who do you guys recommend for languages?
And we're happy to say it's BAIW.
Not only do sometimes I want to escape, but I also want to stay here and talk to the people here on the ground, especially in our state of California. So I want to brush up and make my Spanish stronger. I took Spanish throughout school. I took Spanish and French, but I really, really need to strengthen my Spanish. What about you?
Spanish is the language that I grew up in California. So like that is like you said, like from the time that I could talk, like the names of different streets. It was so like ingrained, handcrafted by over 200 language experts. Yeah, they are voiced by real native speakers.
Real people.
Oh, and they're built with science-backed cognitive tools like spaced repetition and interactive features to fit any learning style. I'm a big fan of BAIW games. This girl loves a game.
We both love games.
And like the sentence building stuff. So having it be in like a game format makes me feel, it doesn't make me feel like I'm learning. It doesn't make me feel like I'm being scolded in school. I'm just like learning something new, but I'm mostly playing a game.
We want you to learn another language, so we're teaming up with BAIW to give you 55% off subscriptions, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/don'tblameme.
Get up to 55% off at babbel.com/don'tblameme, spelled BABBEL.com/don'tblameme.
Babbel.com/don'tblameme.
Rules and restrictions may apply.
If you've ever shopped online, and let's face it, who hasn't? Chances are you've bought something from a business powered by Shopify. You know that purple Shop Pay button you see at checkout? The one that makes buying so incredibly easy? That's Shopify. And there's a reason so many businesses sell with it, because Shopify makes things easier, and not just for shoppers. They make it easy to start and run your business. Shopify is the commerce platform behind 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just getting started. It gives you a leg up from day dot with hundreds of beautiful ready-to-go templates to express your brand style so you can get up and running fast. You can tackle your important tasks, from inventory to payments to analytics and more, all in one place. You can also spread your brand's word with built-in marketing and email tools built for you to find and keep new customers. And remember that iconic purple Shop Pay button that's used by millions of businesses around the world? It's why Shopify has the best converting checkout on the planet. Your customers already know and love it. If you want to see less carts being abandoned, it's time for you to head over to Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/realm. Go to shopify.com/realm. Shopify.com/realm. I love a multi-use beauty product, like an eye/cheek/lipstick. It makes a full face so much easier, plus you only need to bring one product along for touch-ups. And whether you're all about simple mascara and gloss, or you love to play with bold shapes and colors, you gotta have that trusty favorite you turn to for every look. Thrive Cosmetics makes certified 100% vegan and cruelty-free products you can depend on for everything from simple daily wear to show-stopping self-expression. And it's all made with clean, skin-loving ingredients, high-performance and trademarked formulas, and uncompromising standards. And Thrive Cosmetics is beauty that gives back. For every product purchased, they make a donation towards 8 major causes, including social justice organizations and those impacted by cancer and homelessness. It feels good knowing that when I purchase a product, I'm also able to give back to causes that matter to me. And one product I love from Thrive Causemetics is the Brilliant Eye Brightener. Like I said, I love a product that can have multiple uses, and the Brilliant Eye Brightener is just that. It's an eyeshadow and highlighter stick that's super blendable, and I'm slowly but surely stocking up on the 31 shades that it comes in. Try your new trusty favorites with an exclusive set for our listeners. New customers can get the Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara and a mini-sized Brilliant Eye Brightener at a special set price with free shipping available at thrivecosmetics.com/thrive. Or save more with 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/thrive. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/thrive for 20% off your first order.
Oh, I have to prepare for... Is that what we're recording tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
I'll be going. I couldn't do it over the weekend, and then I'm going out of town
going...
this weekend. Yeah.
Well, you're not just going out of town. You're going almost out of the country. You're going to Slovenia.
It's only 2 hours away.
But you're going to feel like you're in Austria, Germany.
Like I've been transported.
With 100%. Are you going to wear some lederhosen?
No, Megan.
Why not?
Why would I?
don't know. I'm going to be real with you. I actually don't know exactly the specific country that it is.
And I don't think they do either.
I was going to say.
I think it's just generic Europe.
Yeah. It's at that specific kind of like lederhosen Europe. Is it German? Is it Swiss? Is it Austrian? Is it The Sound of Music?
Oh, it does say, actually, this is your culture.
Oh. I should have known there are windmills.
Slovenia is a sun-soaked slice of Danish culture.
No, I'm not Danish. It's Dutch.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. Danish is... That's the one that's right. Right? Or is it the Finnish?
Saraya's not either one of those.
No. She always talks about how
hates.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking
No.
about?
Saraya's Swedish. That's what I was like. I'm trying
And,
Moroccan.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Saraya. How's camp going?
What'd you do this weekend?
It's a great question. I went to Costco.
Okay.
I painted. I went to Old Navy. I got a bunch of cute stuff from Old Navy. I went to get denim shorts because they were having a short sale. And I was like, I want shorts or like sweat shorts. And I've learned that, like, I guess during the summer months, like when I can't do compression socks because it's too hot to have like literally fucking knee-high socks on, I guess having like compression shorts under dresses is really good, like torso compression. So I was like, ooh, I'll get some of they had sold out of all of those. But I got a bunch of like cute little shirts.
Nice.
That I'm pretty excited about. And then...
Yeah, Old Navy is a little too much for me. I can't do it. There's just too much going on in the store.
Oh, it was empty.
Like the clothing, though? They have millions of racks and walls of clothing. It's too much clothes.
This one was not that big. Oh, I know what kind you're talking about. The kinds that literally look like they're in a fucking airport hangar.
Yes.
Yeah, no. This is not. That is the one we had in Marin growing up. And like,
every Old Navy I've ever walked in looked like that.
Yeah, and
you
it's like
were in
24-foot
a special one. I can't do. They're so overwhelming.
No, that's deeply overwhelming. Yeah, I couldn't, because all of them look like they're like a Times Square location. Like they're fucking huge. Mm-hmm. So no, this one was small. And I think maybe it's because when we went to go see Sinners, it was like this random fucking area and there was an Old Navy there and it was like small. It was like the size of like a T-Mobile. No, that's really small. It was the size.
Okay.
It was, well, I was going to say it was the size of a Gap, but Gaps can be really big, but it was just because there was a
Most
Gap
Gaps
next to
that
it.
I've seen aren't that big.
Like an Ann Taylor.
So if you say Gap, okay, Ann Taylor,
yeah.
I'm good. I got you.
Yeah, and so then I saw that, and I think I was like, oh my God, let's go to Gap. And so, I mean, let's go to Old Navy. And we went to a different location, and I probably should have checked to see if it was a fucking airport hangar-sized location, because I don't like those either.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't. And it was like, it was totally manageable. It was cute. Like, you could get around the store quite quickly, quite easily. They have a lot of cute workout athletic stuff that I think you'd like. Like a little like workout running dresses and skirts.
I don't like a one piece. I gotta piss.
Go piss, girl. You don't want to just like...
I don't want to have my tits out. Also, my tits are... I need another bra on top.
Yeah. I don't think there's any, like, that would be wild.
A lot of, they're like built-in bra. And I'm like,
Oh, that to me is like for Trader Joe's and shopping.
no,
not
there's
for...
a lot of those suits have built-in bras. And I'm like, my bras don't match the rest of my body. So like, it doesn't work.
Well, even with running.
And I need more compression.
Yeah. With running, like most people, even if they don't have like the biggest, like you do like 2 or like, you know, heavy duty ones. And then we worked on painting and we hung the TV back. Well, so everything has 2 coats of paint and it looks great. We we hung the TV back. We did all that.
So you were able to take it off the wall, not tape it up.
Yeah, and it was very fucking easy. And I was like, look how simple that was, babe. He was like, yeah, you're right. I was doing too much. But because the color is so light that like, and it like does exactly what we wanted. So like it looks good through all hours of the day that like we have to really like squat and like, you know, stand on our tiptoes and like go to the side and all of that to see if there's any spots that kind of got missed or like missed with like a second coat. Nothing was missed with like a first coat. So we've been doing like little touch-ups like that in some areas. And then once we finish that, which we can probably do in like honestly 20 minutes, we just like haven't taken the time to do all of that, then it will be done. And it looks so freaking cute. Oh, actually, no, I have to do the bay window because I didn't know if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And I do.
About that. Yeah. Okay.
But that's small. And it's not like I don't have to be on a ladder to get it. But it's really cute. I think you'd like it. I don't think I took pictures of it yet, though. What about you? What did you get up to?
I went to Allison's birthday brunch. Great group of people. Great location for the restaurant. I got 2 things because I wanted both items. And I was like, I can just eat half of it here and then eat the rest later. So they had French toast and chicken, fried chicken, and also eggs Benedict. Right. We love the eggs Benedict. The chicken had 0 seasoning. No seasoning at all. It was just fried chicken, batter, and no seasoning.
And it tastes like batter. Once you have no seasoning, it's just batter.
It's just batter. The French toast was just eggy toast. I didn't taste a drop of cinnamon, a drop of vanilla, and it was thick too.
Ugh.
And then the eggs Benedict, I asked for crab cake on top of it.
Oh yeah.
And instead of swapping out the crab cake for ham, which was already on it, they just put the crab cake on top of it, which I didn't notice until after I took my first bite, and I was like, this is nasty. What is wrong with this flavor?
That is not a flavor combination that anybody wants.
And then once I realized what was going on, I took it off. But then I also saw the crab was just lumps of crab. It was not caked.
Just crab meat.
Yeah.
So no level of crunch to the crab?
No.
Okay, that's a very wet breakfast.
Yes. The only thing that was good and seasoned were the potatoes. And I was like, if you mess this shit up, then that's a feat.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like even it was like right on like in the marina beachy area, so you could like walk out and sit on the beach if you want. I was like, this is beautiful. I wish this food tasted good because I would just come out here and hang out.
It probably doesn't need to taste good because of the vistas.
Right there. Yeah.
Did anybody else get good food, or was everyone kind of like meh?
No one really said anything.
Oh, so it wasn't good.
A lot of plates were not finished. Allison they have a prefix like thing that they do for brunch. Everybody got stuff a la carte, but you could have got this, and Allison like had initially requested that, and she's like, I'm vegetarian, can you take, there's just 2 items where she just wanted the like fish or something taken off or like put on the side, and they're like, we can't do that, there's no substitution. And I said, that means that food's been sitting back there cooked or prepared for hours.
They can't take it off without messing the plate up.
Yeah.
Ew. That's crazy.
And it was like $60. And I said, you want people to pay $60 for mess?
No, I'm like a believer that like I think if you are securing prime restaurant real estate by the water, and I say this as someone who grew up by the beach, like if you are securing that prime real estate, you need to make your food so good because I can just go to in California, all of our beaches are public. I can just go to the fucking beach and bring a sandwich from somewhere else. Like, I know that it's going to cost a premium because you're paying the premium rent and stuff. So you need to make it so like, I want to eat here and like, because it's like the same thing of like movie theaters. If they offer like, you know, most people are not eating the hot dogs that have been rotating on their entire day because people are just sneaking. Well, you know, we love a hot dog, but like people are like sneaking their own stuff into theater. So I'm like, if you're going to serve something here that like I don't need and it's going to cost more, you have to make it really, or like airport food, like you have to make it like actually good. Because why am I going to go to sit down at an airport restaurant when I can go like to like McDonald's or I can go to like Coffee Bean or whatever that is. So like I do think it's like a backwards mentality. Like just open an ice cream shop. Just do that instead. Yeah. Make an acai bowl.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
Lights, camera, innovation. Walt Disney Studios chose advanced 5G solutions from T-Mobile for Business to transform the movie-making process. Together, we kept a remote production hub in Hawaii and sync with a team in California to bring Lilo and Stitch to theaters this summer. This is picture-perfect collaboration. This is Walt Disney Studios with T-Mobile for Business. Take your business further at T-Mobile.com/now.
Shopping is hard, right? But I found a better way. Stitch Fix online personal styling makes it easy. I just give my stylist my size, style, and budget preferences. I order boxes when I want and how I want. No subscription required. And he sends just for me pieces, plus outfit recommendations and styling tips. I keep what works and send back the rest. It's so easy. Make style easy. Get started today at stitchfix.com/Spotify. That's stitchfix.com/Spotify.
Anything else you get up to?
No, but I am going to start a food series in July.
And she still won't watch fucking Paradise, everybody.
Food as in I'm making it, not cooking, not watching a show.
No, I okay, what's your food series?
And
you know what?
Everything
you could
I
watch
make is
Paradise
going to take
while you
an
do
hour.
it.
I like to be concentrated.
Yeah, me too. It's also not the right show to have like on the background while you're cooking.
Oh my gosh. I am going to be making desserts with peaches in them. Every weekend. Just kind of want to.
Oh, I didn't know if you found like I was
scrolling through our feed and it was like that peach, I think it was a pound cake, looks incredible.
I do firmly believe peach dessert supremacy because I will take a raw peach in a dessert. I will take a cooked peach in a dessert. I will take a raw strawberry in a dessert. I don't love a cooked strawberry.
I'm good with a cooked. I love a cooked strawberry. I love strawberry and peaches are like my two.
Your top two?
Yeah.
I think
strawberries are actually number one.
Ooh. I think that this is going to be great and I can't wait to see what you make.
Thank you.
So you're going to do a pound cake?
Maybe a cinnamon roll.
Yeah. With a little crumble on top of the cinnamon roll. Oh, yeah.
Classic peach cobbler. Well, the pound cake, I might do a sweet potato pound cake with peaches.
I mean, pick my jaw off the fucking floor. Delicious.
And then like a shortbread cookie with a peach filling.
Ooh.
So that's 4.
Ooh. You know what's also fantastic, which I've made before? Like a peach ice cream.
Yeah, well, that was just gonna be like on top of it. I am gonna make that.
Mode.
Yes. Because it goes with everything I just said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was like one of my favorite flavors of ice cream at my like childhood ice cream place. It was like a homemade peach ice cream. Oh, and the color of it, So beautiful. So love a peach. It's kind of the color we painted our living rooms. It's like a pinky peach.
Yeah.
A peachy pink. Wow. Okay. Well, now I got to do that. I almost like embarked on the same thing with cherries because I don't know.
I hate cherries so much.
So Moss is like not that into cherries. So I was like, there's like no fucking point.
I'm sorry. I don't like to like be somebody that talks bad on other, but like cherry is just one that I have a visceral reaction to that I've never had a good cherry in my life.
Oh, that's very fair. I love cherries and I'm not insecure about my love for cherries. I don't feel bad. So, but Mott's like he always like loves this cherry pie, and I'd never had cherry pie. It turns out it's like tart cherry pie, so it's like a very different kind of style. But at Sprouts,
you were surprised by this? A cherry pie?
No, I've never had cherry pie. Well, because
when I think of like cartoons where they would put pie on the windowsill, it's always a cherry pie.
No, I'd never seen one in real life. I'd only ever seen them 2-dimensional, and like for me, I had never really had like a cherry like baked good. Maybe there's like a couple of different ones that like, but in general, like that was like cherries were something you ate like in the summer just from like a carton. Like it was like not cooked or whatever. And I don't know who at Sprouts, their cherry dealer gave them a crazy good deal. Melissa, I cannot stress to you the way that almost everything in Sprouts right now is cherry themed. They have cherry themed chips. They have cherries. Melissa, they have displays.
Did you get them?
No, but I was like, okay, guys, what is up with the cherry? And then they have like actual just raw cherries on super sale. And I'm like, who overbought the cherries? And then you had to and a lot of these are like Sprouts original brand. And it's like, I think they have a cherry in a curry. And I'm like, okay, guys, what happened? Like someone added an extra 0 for how many cherries they were ordering or whatever it is. And I almost was like, maybe I'll get into like making things with cherries. And then I like sat on it for a second. I was like, well, I kind of only really like raw cherries. And I couldn't think of a thing that like a whole slew of like a slate that would make sense for me to buy an entire crate of cherries for essentially $3. And I was like, okay, no, not so much. But if it peaches, our neighbors have a peach tree. I know. I think that's the next one I want to do. Yeah. Hopefully.
We can have a peach off.
I love that. Now I want a good peach. Maybe I'll do some of that for lunch. I think we had some. That's Mott's favorite. It's a stone fruit. I don't think theirs is full yet. And my neighbor's not. She's still working. She's still working. She's hasn't left yet for her job. So if I go over there, she'll be like, "What are you doing in my yard?" And I'm like, "Can I have one?"
You can just text her.
No, she would.
Can I get one?
Yeah. I think if they were ripe, she would have told me.
Yeah, I do love a stone fruit too. I was just. Avia yesterday was talking about how she was eating a plum, and I was like, oof, I could go. The thing about plums is like, they have to be good. Like,
it's like an apricot.
It's either great or not. And I don't like apricots unless they're dried.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's apricots for me, when I eat I think it's crazy that there is a fruit that you can pick right off the tree, and when you eat it, it tastes dry. Like, that's how I feel. That I'm like, it's the worst mouthfeel of like all time. Like, the skin to me, it's so, I can't stand it. And it like, again, it makes my mouth dry. Like, what is going on? So I prefer an apricot the same way. I prefer it, like, just like lean into who you are, which is dry.
Yeah. A dried apricot is delectable, so much so that I cannot keep him in the house because I will eat them all in one sitting. Yep. And then have a terrible time later.
I was going to say, and then your tummy's a little
high fiber.
Hard. Yeah. I had a plum tree growing up as a kid, and that was like one of my favorites. Also had an apple tree. And like one of the things that I was like, wow, this is actually really cool. Just like the layout of how my like childhood home was. And it's definitely not like this anymore. But it was on a hill. And so the first story or whatever is like well above like our yard and our grass, because like it's built up into the hill. And then that's the side that's lower and you walk down into the yard. But we had an orange tree that was like huge and beautiful. And then in our dining room, the wall that like faced out to the yard was essentially just a giant window that you could open, and you'd open it, and then the branches of the orange tree would just pop in, and I could pick from there. And it was like
cute.
So magical, which like I loved. And there was a house that we toured in LA that wasn't an orange tree, but like they had a wisteria branches that like if you opened the window, they would pop in. And I was like, oh my God, this reminds, like, I love this. And Mom's just like, okay, I hear you. I think you're thinking of a very romanticized childhood idea of this, which our future child would love this. I do want you as an adult to think about critters.
Allergies?
And I was like, good point. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense, but allergies too. But yeah, I like think about that all the time, or like picking apples from the tree, but like the plum, the orange, and the apple tree. Oh, and we had a loquat tree, which I'm like,
I don't even know what that is.
it's like a kumquat.
Hate the name.
Yeah.
Kumquats are good though.
Loquats are like
They're
worse.
low
kumquats.
vibrational.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they're like just
low
like
vibrational kumquats.
they're just like, they literally put them on a ranking and they said, this makes me cum. This kind of low. I'm like, there should be a midquat because like it's not great, the loquats, but I just like was addicted to, and we had our privacy shrubs at the house too were blackberry bushes. So I would just pick blackberries, and then also like random people. I mean, we did not live, there's like no fucking foot traffic. We're on top of a massive goddamn hill. Our neighbors, like, you know, if I screamed in the middle of the night, hope they fucking hear me. Like everybody's like distant, like you're far back into each property. I would like sometimes like randomly see as like a kid, like someone who like I do not recognize, like picking blackberries like from our bush, and they're like, sorry, I thought this was public property. I'm like, there's literally no reason. There's no way you thought that. Like, you are on a tiny little road on a hill. You must know somebody who told you they were blackberry. You didn't just drive by. This is not a through street. You can go up and then you have to come back down. You can't like, this isn't like a loop or whatever. But I used to make blackberry ice cream too, blackberry crumble, blackberry pie. So good. They're great privacy shrubs because they grow so fast. If you want to get rid of them, they're the worst thing in the entire world because they're like wild. But so good. Now I want fruit.
I'm better with fruit outside. Once it gets in, it'll just sit there. Same with salad, with lettuce and things. I love being out and ordering a salad. There's 2 big containers. I was like, I'm going to eat salads this week. I think I made 2. This was last week. I think I made 2. And then I was done with them. Yep. And I have 2 large containers of a lettuce. I forgot what lettuce it is, but.
And I'm sure that's already soft.
Well, they are in a airtight container, so they're not soft yet. But I'm just, every time I open the fridge, I look at them and I'm like, I don't want that.
No, the way I literally had this conversation with Montz yesterday, because I was like, the best thing we have ever decided to grow is lettuce, because the amount of bags of lettuce that I have watched die in our fridge because I'm like, I don't really want it. Or like you don't seal it perfectly. It's already gross by then. Like or even just like this, I think in general, the smell of bagged lettuce in a mixed with the fridge smell is like, it turns me off completely.
Yeah.
And like, it's just so gross. And you always have either way too little or way too much. And then you have like weird leftovers. And us growing lettuce, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever, because like, it's not going bad because it's just growing and it's still growing. And I made a Cobb salad, which I'd never had before.
That's what I was doing.
No way.
Yeah. That's why I got it. Except for minus the bacon, because I don't like bacon in it. But,
do you put blue cheese in yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
But that's also something I can't keep in the home, because
really?
I get just scared that it'll spread everywhere after I saw that car.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, isn't it already kind of.
It is. I'm just
moldy?
Scared that it will spread.
Yeah.
You saw that video, right?
Yes, I do think that the issue is the environment of a fridge is not conducive to this spread.
I mean, like, I'm sitting, eating it on the couch or eating it in bed.
No, that's
and
a
little sprinkle might get somewhere.
That's a very legitimate, fair, and valid fear. And now I kind of think that nobody should have blue cheese in the home. That's actually really scary.
But yeah, I did it with cheddar instead, but eggs and chicken and tomatoes and stuff. So
yeah, hard-boiled some eggs. I'm feeling rich.
I just bought the ones that were already hard-boiled.
Mott's hard-boiled.
Even richer.
Yeah, it's so fucking rich. Mott's peeled his first hard-boiled egg, because I was doing one. He goes, can I do one? And I was like, sure. And then we started doing it, and he goes, this is kind of hard. And I was like, yeah, do you want me to do it? He was like, yeah. And then I finished mine, and I could do his. He goes, no, I'm having fun. And I was like, this is exactly what I like. That it is fun when you can do it. But and I've never really hard-boiled eggs before. Like, that was like never a big thing for me. Also because
you're not a fan.
Eggs are really touch and go. And I was like, I don't know how the fuck to do this. And so like I literally Googled it and I was like, I feel like an idiot. And then I did it the first time and then they were not done. Like they were done, but they were not Cobb salad done. Yeah. I don't want a soft boiled egg. Yes.
Yeah.
And I like put them back in the water and then I was like threw a timer on being like, hope this works. And then they were perfect. And then I did it again this time. And I just kind of like went by vibes, also perfect. And I was like, okay, the only other times I've made hard-boiled eggs when I was younger, they were so bad. And what do you mean now that I'm kind of just like, fuck it, try it. And they worked so well. And it reminds me of my old hobby.
Which was tie-dye?
No, Ukrainian Easter egg blowing.
What?
New
lore just dropped.
I feel like I've told you about that.
I've never heard that combination of words before in my life.
I don't think you'll be the only ones. I think a lot of people listening to this will be like, so sorry, brand new sentence.
Before you get into that, I was going to ask, before you peeled them, did you put them in water with ice?
So we have a very small fridge. It's not like Smeg small. But like
what it is.
Yeah.
But for the listeners.
Yeah, it's a short fridge. Mary's definitely way taller.
I mean, I'm about the same height as that fridge.
Because like there's a cabinet over it. So like it fits in. So our freezer, we like went from having like a pull-out freezer that's like quite big that has like multiple layers and all of that stuff. And we don't have built-in ice in our fridge. So we have like ice trays. And the way
Why
that
don't you have an ice maker?
Because we don't have enough counter space right now. We need to when we redo our kitchen, we have big plans for everything.
Okay.
And so we have not regularly had ice since we got AC because whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I literally just put them in cold water, put it in the fridge, and then after 5 minutes, dump the water that's now lukewarm, put more water in it, put it back in the fridge for another like 2 minutes. Okay. And then it's been fine. But I honestly find it easier to peel hard-boiled eggs when they're warm, not fully cold.
Yeah.
So.
I agree. It's just hot on the fingertips.
Yeah.
What's worse than an ad interrupting your favorite music or podcast? That uninspired coffee you've been drinking while working, which is why Flavia is elevating your everyday coffee experience. Now you can enjoy cafe-quality beverages like coffee, tea, frothy lattes, and creamy hot chocolate made right in your home office, actual office, or wherever you want to upgrade your mug with bold, delicious flavors. Visit Flavia.com to shop the collection of machines and beverages now.
With EA Sports College Football 26, you can rise from high school recruit to Heisman legend or cement your legacy as a coach by leading your program to glory. Pre-order the deluxe edition of the game today as part of the MVP bundle at go.ea.com/MVP-bundle to start playing 3 days early and more. EA Sports College Football 26 is rated E for everyone. Includes in-game purchases, including random items.
Oh my God, it's the coolest thing ever. Hey guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? Well, check this out. It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic famous foods from restaurants across the country anywhere nationwide. I've never found a more perfect gift than food. They ship Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garten's famous cakes. Seriously. So if you're looking for a gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT.
So this arts and craft, what the fuck were you, say what you just said again?
So it's called Ukrainian Easter egg blowing.
Okay.
And they are beautiful. And I have to say, for anybody who is like relatively new here or is like just like not familiar with like my lore, I grew up in an area of California called Marin County. And Marin County is very, very affluent, very wealthy. I did not grow up with that kind of money. But one of the things that that like rich limousine liberals love is participating in other cultures. They're addicted to that. So I did a lot of tradition. We had a whole segment of our middle school music. Everyone else is learning how to play the recorder. Us, traditional African drums. We are learning dances. I did Kathak Indian dance. You have these children in bindis. You've got all of this stuff. So like this stuff is big. So instead of just doing like a traditional Easter egg hunt, our like local little craft store was like, who wants to learn how to do Ukrainian Easter egg blowing? Are we learning from a Ukrainian? Of course not. Of course not. Of course
this
not.
This is the area of cultural appropriation.
That's what I'm saying. This is Marin's fucking bread and butter. And one of our most popular stores in my little small town is called Tibetan Moon. And all of the moms just buy pants with like bells on them and like all of the, and it's like, they're like, we're not like the other Marin moms. We're different. We're not shopping at Nordstrom. I was like, no, you're buying like crystals from a white person who's like literally wearing a bindi and has locks. Like, okay. So this was like a class that I took, and I took like all kinds of art classes. It was a big art class kind of person. And then if you gave me one themed for a holiday, I'd love it even more. So what you do is the blowing part's the funniest part, because I don't know why they let me do that, because I couldn't even play the flute because I kept passing out because of the I just got dizzy. But it's like a wax and a dye kind of situation, and you use like a tiny little like needle level thing to do like the most intricate designs on it. And it kind of looks like dental equipment, like all of those little pokey thin metal things.
Which I have in my bathroom.
There you go. And you do that with like wax, and you have like different colors of wax. And then you also have like you drop it in the dye at different points, and you add more wax on, which then protects from the dye that you put on. And then you do all these kinds of things. And then after you've like finished everything, you use like a lighter. This is very kid friendly. You use like a lighter or a flame, and you like melt off the wax. And you do this with the egg not blown. So the egg, there's a white in there, there's a yellow in there, but it is a raw egg. So the whole, you don't want to drop it, because like it is not hard boiled. It is not cooked.
Why?
Because you have to blow it. You can't blow a hard boiled egg. Well, guess what the blowing of the egg is.
Oh, so, I have seen that.
Yeah. After you've done your whole design.
Something you do in science class.
Mm-hmm. After you've done the whole design and everything, and you've like cleaned it off, and like ultimately at the very end, I think you do like one final coat of wax. So like the entire egg is like a thick coat of wax, and it's like almost like a black color because if you put the fire on it, so like it burns it all off and it melts off, and you wipe it off, and it reveals this beautiful design. And then you take this thing that's like, you know, that thing that like parents use for like kids who have like gas or whatever, and you like blow it, you like what, or boogers, one of those things. So it's like a very tiny
bulb.
Yeah, a really tiny little tube thing, or like a metal thing that pokes into the bottom of the egg, and you do another hole on the other side. So the top and the bottom. One pokes in the straw, essentially, and then the other just has a tiny little hole out. And then with all of your might, for however long it fucking takes, you go, and then the goo of the egg shoots out. And then you like rattle it.
Just have the shell.
Yes, but you can't like do all the design work with the shell because it's like way too fragile. And then you put it in like an egg cup that you would like eat out of like a fancy place, and then you display it. And so these are what they look like.
Once you got into the story, I knew exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah. And there, I mean, these are, someone put a cross on it. I was going to say, maybe these are more the style that we did, but you could do like lots of very cool. Cool. Someone did an ornament of it. That's smart. But I loved it. Sometimes I would even do it at home by myself after the class was done. I was like, let me get back into that. Like that was kind of a fun time. And it was easier than like the mosaic class I took, which I loved that mosaic class, but like, where the fuck am I getting all of the materials from? Am I just going to go in and break plates and then steal some of that and like make cement or the mortar, whatever you call it that you use to do mosaic?
Don't know.
It's a good time. I loved it. So
thank you for sharing.
You are welcome. And turns out I also think that you don't have to blow it with your mouth. I think there are tools.
Well, you were probably doing it the original way.
Or they just figured out the tools and they didn't really necessarily know how to use them, which is checking out. So maybe that's what I'll do for Easter. When's Easter?
It's already passed, so next year.
Okay. That's fair. That's fine.
The show I've been working on is out.
Oh, it is?
Yes. But the episodes that I wrote aren't out yet, but they should be dropping next week.
Send a link.
I will. And I'm also working with them to get our listeners a code so they can listen.
Oh, that'd be lovely. What's it called?
It's called
I'm so excited because and this is why I asked. This is why every time we see an ad for this kind of stuff on TikTok, Moss goes, is that Melissa's? Is that Melissa?
Let me show you the artwork. But it's called Chosen by Fate.
Ooh.
Rejected by the Alpha.
Of course. I can't wait. Okay. Uh-huh. We kind of have a similar hairline. Love that for him.
It's really good, though.
Hell yeah. What are their names?
Trinity and Reese.
I feel like those stories. They love a Reese.
Mm-hmm. They love a Noah, too, but luckily...
No.
Right.
No.
Noah's my nephew's name.
Yeah.
Luckily, he is not the alpha in the story, so we don't get a lot. He is the alpha's assistant.
Beta?
Well, he becomes beta, so I don't want to spoil it.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But,
I was making a joke. I didn't realize there was an actual thing.
Yes. He is his assistant and Trinity's cousin. When I started writing, I was like, please don't let this be the alpha. But, my sister Melanie loves these type of stories. And she was like, the last one I read, the alpha's name was Noah. And I just had to, when it got to the sex scenes, I just had to skip.
Yeah.
Because that Noah's her son's name. Yeah.
That's hard. It's like the exact opposite of like an insert your name here fanfic where you're like, oh yeah, I put my own name in this. Like Harry Potter is like in love with me. Like it's all about me. No, you don't want it the other way around.
Right.
That's funny. Well, I can't wait to read it. Maybe Mott's will do it with his book club.
It's an immersive audio experience.
Maybe
so you don't read it, you listen to it.
I can't wait to listen. I was gonna say maybe Mott's can incorporate it into his book club.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. He has a book club, him and one other person. It is our neighbor who is a teacher, and they meet once a week every weekend.
That's cute.
In his garden, and he makes like homemade iced tea.
Aww.
And I was like, I'm obsessed with that. And he had brought it up to me at like a Memorial Day. Was that the recent one? Memorial Day, like weekend barbecue at another one of our neighbors' houses. And he was like, I've been meaning to ask Mott's, but like I want to see if like you think he'd be interested in like possibly having a book club, because they like share books all the time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, he would love that because he wants me to do it. He's literally like been like, I'll read whatever you want to read if you want to do a book club. And I'm like, eh. And I was like, he would love that. And now they meet every week for an hour. They talk about everything. They pick really old books. Like I think they just did Crime and Punishment.
Okay.
And I was like, okay. I'm sure Mott's is loving it because when I was like, okay, I'll do it.
Wear a little cardigan with patch elbows.
Does our neighbor?
No, Mott's to the book club.
Mott's does have one of those cardigans somewhere.
I just feel like you have to go dress for the occasion.
Dress for the occasion.
I love dressing for the occasion.
Our neighbor would love that. Like he would really appreciate if he took this as like a moment. It's a little too hot for that, but I'm sure once it gets to be colder out, and I'm sure then they won't have homemade iced tea. They'll have homemade like hot tea.
Yeah.
And I need to make I need to make cookies or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I love this. They're besties.
I love that too.
So
I used to be in a book club.
With who?
Catherine.
Oh.
And she lived here. And Alex, and then some of their nerdy, they worked in education, so some of their nerdy friends.
So I told Mom, I was like, do you ever feel like in school?
Yeah, we would meet at like little cafes that were in the ones that are surrounded by trees and stuff that I had never seen.
Gorge.
It was cute. But then the book started getting a little dark, and we all, it was like 2 in a row where we hadn't picked them. And we were like, oh, I think we're done with this. And I was like, yeah, or we need to kick some of the other people out.
Yeah. Oh, Matz's dad had to do that with someone in their book club who either he was like making, it came out that he was conservative and had not been conservative before. And either it was in the book choice that he wanted for the next one, or like his response or his like words towards another book. And then Matz's dad was like, you gotta go. This is not working. Either I'm out or he's out. And I was like, dead obsessed with that.
Yeah, this wasn't these were actually like liberal books written by women, but they had a lot of trauma in them that I don't want to read. Like I'm in this book club for enjoyment, and it was too much. I also don't want to discuss it with other people. And I understand that like some people enjoy that type of thing. I'm not one of those people.
No, I find it the same level as like like horny smut books of being like, well, I would never pick that for like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm also picking ones that are like that are all very dark to me. I'm like, yeah, I also don't want to discuss that with people. Like there's a certain vibe you're in when you're choosing to read that, and I don't want to be like, now let's extrapolate. How did you relate? No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. None of those like questions at the back of the book. No, don't ask me shit. But I want to read the new Hunger Games book, and I think that'll get me back into reading.
Fun.
I haven't read anything besides scripts in so fucking long.
I got to get back on writing those. One thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm weaning off of directing as many audiobooks. I'm trying to.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is it for our Fisting Friday. Hope you enjoyed getting fisted. It was so good. I like fully forgot we had fisted.
All right. Join us on Monday for But Am I Wrong? Tuesday for See You Next Tuesday. Wednesday, Wild Card. Thursday, you've got Don't Blame Me. And then on Friday, we'll be back for another episode of Fisting Friday.
Fist you later. This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Post-production by Coco Lorenz.
Can you actually change your personality if you want to? How does peer pressure work, and why is it so powerful? Should you ever really trust your gut when you make a big decision? These are just a few of the topics we've recently covered on my podcast, Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and each episode of Something You Should Know covers multiple topics that are likely relevant to you. You'll discover things you can use in your life today, right now, like how to have a great conversation, how to be more courageous, the anatomy of the perfect apology, and much, much more. To date, there are over 1,000 episodes of Something You Should Know, and we've gotten over 4,000 mostly 5-star reviews. I invite you to check out Something You Should Know. Look for the bright yellow light bulb on the blue background. Something You Should Know, wherever you listen to podcasts.
In humanity's search for other worlds, we found something unexpected.
It's a massive collection of tiny pocket realities, and each one is a story.
So we can actually transcend our usual 4 dimensions of space and time to go physically into these stories?
Yes, using the Muse Pod.
But when we explored those stories, things didn't go as planned.
Mr. Darcy? That horrid man.
I am Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
None of us have been the same since Beth died.
What happens when classic stories go wrong? I go in to fix them.
Ah, humbug.
Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?
For the love of God, Montresor!
Subscribe and listen to Muse, the latest audio drama from Dayton Writers Movement and Realm.
I am Dracula, and I bid you welcome.
From the podcast that brought you to each of the last lesbian bars in the country and back in time through the sapphic history that shaped them, comes a brand new season of cruising beyond the bars. This is your host, Sarah Gabrielli, and I've spent the past year interviewing history-making lesbians and queer folks about all kinds of queer spaces, from bookstores to farms to line dancing and much more.
For 11 years, every night women slept illegally on the common.
We would move down to the West Indies to form a lesbian nation.
Meg Kristen coined the phrase women's music, but she would have liked to say it was lesbian music.
And that's kind of the origins of the Combehavior Collective.
You can listen to Cruising on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes air every other Tuesday starting February 4th.